Hey, what's up guys, Maltosier, and we're back with some more. Who is the Red Queen? This might be the last episode, I don't really know. I know there's also multiple endings and stuff, so I might be going even further than that. But for now, let's see if we can conclude what the hell's going on here. I seem to be like in the past before all these people died, before I was even the Red Queen or known at all. Let's see if this is actually just another fucking dream or death loop or whatever, I don't even know. I basically killed myself. So I was the Red Queen, or I had some sort of like, what do you call it? There's a word for it where you're like literally beside yourself, like you think you're in someone else's body because you disassociate so hard. I guess it's disassociated. And then at some point I got the resolve to kill myself. And then I was able to control what the Red Queen wasn't. I jumped off something and that's why I started falling into a death loop. I think. I don't know. Anyways, let's just keep going and find out maybe. The March Hare and Dormouse pulled me to the side. For a private conversation. Hatter seems to fancy you. Not so directly. Don't raise your voice. Don't raise your voice, Dormouse. Dormouse, shh. That's usually my line, March. You can't own lines now, can you? March is right that Hatter looks fondly upon you. You do seem nice. Kind of dumb. She seems nice. I still approve. I'm just saying, alright? Be kind to Hatter. Be good to our Hatter. We can't be around her forever, so you have to promise this, Alice. I have a feeling this is very important. Swear it on a stick of holy butter. I won't be here for very long, but no, I'll promise it. I'll swear on everything that could ever be precious to me that I'll treat her well if we meet again. When she's back to bed, Dormouse, Dormouse. We returned to the Hatter. The four of us continued chatting over tea. I enjoyed tea time today, I really did. Yet I didn't really belong here. I didn't deserve here either. I knew that my presence would only throw everything into disarray. Finishing my tea, I stopped the Hatter from refilling my cup. I had a wonderful time today. Yeah, I have to leave. This place isn't mine, but thank you for the tea again, Hatter. Yeah, okay, so this is temporary. And you too, March, Dormouse. It was nice meeting you, Alice. I already knew you from the future, but I was always happy. Always also happy to see you, Hatter. It was a shame that my Hatter didn't feel the same way. Alice, what did you feel for Hatter? Something precious. Was it love? See you later. I wanted her to be happy. Giving her a weak wave, I left the happier Hatter. I didn't particularly have a place to go. Home, though, was no longer my goal. Walking away, I wiped the tears that welled up again. Eventually, I was falling again. I died. That much I understood. However, I seem to have forgotten how I died this last time. In a way, I knew I couldn't keep doing this. Alice, this was your last iteration. The power letting you keep falling had already run out. The next time, you wouldn't come back to Wonderland at any time. As my body pieced itself back into its place, I waited for myself to stop falling. I burst back into my relative present and hit the ground softly. Laying back flat on the ground, I grasped at the grass below me and cut my fingers on their blades. Above me, the sky was terribly blue. No matter who I was, the world would move on without me. However, people could not so simply move on. Be it a matter of hate or a matter of love or just a matter of apathy, the connections people had were difficult to sever. Before I realized it, a certain person had settled into my heart. I want to see Hatter. My Hatter. Alice, you really are no good. No, it's better to just say that I really am no good. I'd already fallen for that Mad Hatter. She wormed her way into my heart unintentionally as she threw me on a wild duck chase with the Red Queen's dismembered parts in her revenge. I wonder how she felt now that she had her goal fulfilled. The final look on her face that I saw before I died was painful. It was painful not because of the crushing of my skull, but because of the constriction of my heart as I looked at her. A strange girl, a lonely girl, ultimately a terribly kind girl who was stumbling along a bloody path. That's who the Hatter was. I'm sorry. I pushed myself up. Useless Alice had a want, not one of obligation, not one of what should be, but because really, had I really wanted to go home? Not one of the tutors or anyone forced upon her. I went to find the Hatter. I started walking, I started running. And there she was, all by her lonesome, the bags under her eyes had not lightened at all, and she listlessly played with the rim of a teacup until she suddenly saw me. Why? She harshly stood up. Why did you come back? Why can't you just disappear? Grabbing a plate off of the table, ignoring the pastry atop of it, she chucked it at me. Smash! The plate brushed me and shattered on the ground, leaving a mangled lump of sweets and porcelain. Alice! Alice! She slammed the table, originally forcing her hands down with the great momentum before suddenly slowing down as she smacked it. Wincing, the Hatter let out a painful guttural noise. Why are you like this? I hate you, Alice. She clutched her chest and glared at me with murky, watery eyes. Why are you like this? I had no answer. You're contradictorily cruel and kind. You're messed up, Alice. Just choose one thing to be, you heartless woman. I like you, but I also hate you. I also liked her. I loved her. You're a useless freeloader who just comes to bother me. A waste of time. You're Alice who always accompanies me and extends a hand to me. You're the Red Queen. Monster. Killer. I hate you. Why couldn't you just properly died? I killed you. You're the same thing as the Red Queen. You shouldn't have come back. She picked up a teacup and threw it at me, slashed me right in the forehead. I stumbled back. Hot tea spilled down me, mixing with the blood that came from the simple flesh wound. The cup itself shattered into tiny pieces on the ground. Go away! She grabbed her bloody hammer off the table and flung it, missing me by a far margin. It whooshed through the air, spinning and lodged itself deeply into its tree behind me. My blood was still on the metal face. Tell me who you're supposed to be. I am Alice. The Red Queen and I are one and the same, but I am Alice. Her essence is intertwined with mine, but I am me and me alone. I'm scared of the idea that we could become the same. I never want to become someone like her. An empty heart, an empty life. Even as she lashes out to the rest of the world, she's still empty. Admittedly, I'm also no good. I'm a heartless person who hurts others as well. But I hold just two certainties. I am Alice, and Alice is me. And for the I who am Alice, you are the person who took my heart. Is it okay to say that I'm Alice? I nervously fiddled with my fingers behind my back, looking at the Hatter as my heart raced. I couldn't read her expression behind those mismatched eyes. She wiped her eyes with her sleeves, opening her mouth time and time again. She seemed to have trouble finding her words. I like Alice, who is Alice. The Red Queen scares me, but if you would let me believe it, I want to believe that you are Alice. Ever since March and Dormouse left, time has stopped at tea time like a curse. Oh, so that's why it's always tea time? Because tea time is when March... Oh, it's tea time because when March and Dormouse are there. And the only way for her to feel like they never left or got killed is that it is always tea time. You know what? Now that I'm like slowly processing what's going on in this game, it's pretty good. It was really confusing, but I'm starting to get the pieces, like I'm putting together pieces right now. So the main character here definitely is Alice and the Red Queen, but like there's also a time death loop thing happening for whatever reason, where she's kind of self-aware of what the fuck's happening. And also she came back to the same timeline because she recognizes that she already died. So that was literally like a corpse she left behind on her last respawn. But also her respawns have come to an end for whatever dark magic she used or got like involved in. So there's actually, it's not like super abstract. It could just be magic, which is fine. But I'm tired of tea. Is my life just for revenge on the Red Queen? She looked up at the sky as if lost. The Red Queen is dead. So, and the Red Queen is specifically a single iteration of Alice that existed, where she went completely fucking bonkers. Depending on whatever happened. And then she just always, no matter how many times she dies, she comes back as Alice again, which sometimes becomes the Red Queen or whatever. It's kind of cool. Also, there's clearly going to be another ending to do with the White Queen, where I end up falling in love with the White Queen. So I kind of do want to try that. Deliberately mouthing the words slowly again, she seemed to convince herself of that reality, and then she looked back toward me. Alice, you are Alice. Her voice grew small, and she gazed downward to her feet. I hurt you. I know. I extended a hand toward her, and she who was all alone. She who stood so close yet so far away. I wanted for her to take my hand. We were both problem children. Perhaps I was a little mad. She slowly walked before me, looking at my hand as if seeing something foreign. Lifting her arm up, she reached out her hand shakingly. Her fingers trembled and hovered over my hands. For a moment, she retracted her hand. Then she placed her hand in mine. I love you, Hatter. Alice. She stared at me, trying to ascertain the truth of my words. With a deep, shaky breath, she gave me her response. I love you too. Would you accompany me for a dance, give me a kiss, and make me happy? She asked of me just 3 things. I can't make you happy. I wish that I could fulfill all 3 of her requests. A physical item or a physical deed, those I could easily accomplish. But one of the heart I knew not if I could. I don't know if we can make each other happy, but I placed a kiss upon her lips. That's fine. Even if I have no ability to promise such things, I want to let you be happy. You are my dearest, precious person. I want you to be happy, Alice. That makes me happy. Not just like this. More so. I took her hand and we danced upon the table. Spinning about, our feet tangled with the tablecloth and tea set strewn about. Hatter, If the world were to end tomorrow, what would you do? I've nothing left here for me, Alice, so I suppose I would do nothing. You're still right here with me, aren't you? She was so light. I wish I could show you my world. It's not a particularly spectacular world. Rather, it's utterly unfantastical, yet there were things that I liked. Maybe my siblings are better, the two cats, if you care for cats at all. I would have liked that. I pulled her along, leading the mad dance with no music. There's music playing in my head. We moved to the erratic tempo of our hearts together. Well, that just made me think this is really fucking awkward. It's just like pure silence, just ruffling of clothes and just them going, yeah, so good, yeah, and then like, you know, just totally ruin the moment. Why did you fall in love with me? Maybe it was just fate, maybe it was just luck, maybe it was the decisions that the player made. Meeting you time and time and again here, I grew fonder and fonder of you. Okay, yeah, so obviously it's... So basically I fall in love with whoever I repeatedly visit. Just like real life. At first, I simply thought you were lonely, but eventually I fell in love with your heart. Love. I've never known about love before. I'm not sure if I can truly explain why my heart beats as it does for you, Alice. Even that aside, you're cute. You can cook and sew and brew good tea. You're warm and you're actually rather kind. What about you to me? I should ask that to you instead. Happiness. Probably we had no such fate, but we wished for it. Was this mouse always bloody? Probably was, I just never noticed it. Finally, we fell. Oh, no. No! Wait, what? They're falling together? Falling, we were falling. Down this rabbit hole with no start, no end, we were falling together. I knew not where we would fall for. There were no more wonderlands for us to fall to. The world that we fell from had just been the very last iteration. I embraced the Hatter and closed my eyes. How warm she was, the person who I treasured. I only asked for a world where we could be happy together. Surely we would meet again in a land much more wonderful than this. Somewhere, sometime, surely. So we fell together, and we don't even know, but they're just together, basically, and they don't even know if it's going to be a world they fall to. They could just be falling forever, because there's no more iterations of Wonderland to go through, or whatever. This is kind of cool. And it's really making me think about what the hell each little detail could mean. But I'm pretty sure I got the gist of it. So yeah, like I said, basically Alice is like in some sort of death loop. For whatever reason that's not explained, at least for what the ending I just did was. And there seems to be different paths, and I chose the Hatter path. And apparently wronged the Hatter crazily, because this is the Alice ending. Okay, there we go. So there are different ending names. So, yeah, I just like fucking killed the Hatter's friends and stuff because that iteration of me was horrible. But then whenever I come back with like my memories gone, and I can turn out a different way and influence the world in a different way. I've seen 62% of the script, so there's still 48% of the script I haven't seen yet, which I can probably do by running the other path. Was this button always here? The fuck? All right, let's just go back. Oh, it's because I was hovering over it. I do want to hang out with the White Queen and see how that goes. Okay, so there's 6 dead ends and there's 3 actual endings. 3 endings? Wait, I did the Alice ending. I didn't even do the Hatter ending. I guess okay, I already figured it out. Here's how I do every ending, okay? There's the Hatter ending, where I literally only ever see the Hatter. I never see the White Queen. Ever. Because I'm pretty sure I saw the White Queen one too many times at some point. Wait, no, didn't I just do the Hatter ending? I'm assuming there's like this is the normal ending. Alice ending is where no, but then there was a lot of Hatter in it. I don't know. I think there might be a guide out there, but I'm just going to, for now, do all the White Queen paths and see what happens. We're also going to do a lot of text skipping. That's what we're going to do. Where's the skip button? I know it's here somewhere. Yeah, so we met the White Queen. We met the Hatter. I listened to the Hatter because that's the dead end. Don't need to see the dead end again. I met the Cheshire Cat. So yeah, before I decide to go up, up, down, down, left, right, and then I went to see the White Queen, I'm going to see the White Queen first this time and also not kill the bird. I've already seen this, so I can just kind of pet the bird. Here's something I didn't do. I shrank last time instead of growing. I kind of want to see what happens if I grow. Is it going to kill me? I'm gonna do that right now. This is just gonna be now the rest of the series is just gonna be us trying to discover what's going on in this game. And see all the other rest of the script. Let's grow. I ate a left mushroom and immediately began to grow. My line of sight rose higher and higher as if I was a bean sprout. Once I stopped growing, I could reach the top of the towering tree if I reached out my arm. Fantastically, my clothes grew with me. I'm glad about that. I cautiously pinched the silver key and removed it from the tree, holding it lightly as to not break anything with my now giant hands. The key I now had, but the cage I could not open. It was much too big. The magic will wear off. In the meantime, would you accompany me to chat, Alice? That may be for the best. I would have to return to my original size to open the door. Is the invitation for tea still open? Always. I think this is all... I've already seen all that, so it doesn't look like me being big matters much. I thought about back to the parties who would help me, and I was going to I'm going to hang out with the White Queen this time. Thinking to the eternal tea time of the Hatter, I decided that seeking out the White Queen would be more productive. I dropped the limb off at the Hatter's place, thinking that bringing a piece of a dismembered person's body to the White Queen again wouldn't be quite appropriate. I walked to the White Queen's garden. This was a pretty place, and she a pretty person as before. She was watching the distance. Wait, what? Oh my god, bro. She was watching the distance, looking at I did not know what. Oh, looking at what I didn't. Okay, so she was looking into the distance, and I don't know what she was looking at. All right, great. I wondered if my gaze toward her was like her gaze toward her object. Alice, you weren't the one she wanted. Hello. Yes, but I was the one in front of her right now. Good evening, Alice. It's almost time for dinner. Would you like to stay for a meal? Is it that time already? Her question made me realize the time once more. I would love to. Before long, a beautiful array of foods found its way onto the table, carried over by what seemed like magic, but it was in fact little fairy lights. I don't know why, but I read that as little fairy thighs at first. I don't know why, but I had to let you guys know that as well. First came the appetizer. I put a forkful into my mouth and tasted nothing. Bland. Haven't felt particularly hungry since I came to this world. I felt a little thirst, a little hunger, a little urge to expel waste. Thank you for that. I felt a little thirst. Okay, all inconvenient facets of a mortal life. Perhaps this really was a dream. I know. This world must appear like a place of dreams. I picked at the food, my fork clinking against the plate as I moved items back and forth. She looked like a doll. Perfectly practiced table manners, indifferent expressions. Nothing told me what she felt, only that she would complete this task of eating. The main course arrived soon enough. This was also bland. Silence fell upon the dinner table. Certainly speaking too much during a meal was frowned upon by some, but this was much too polite. So what sort of upbringing did she have? A queen was a queen, but I knew not which country she ruled, nor what courtiers she had. The word White Queen was a mystery. My fork and knife clinked listlessly against the plate. Eventually, dinner came to a close with dessert. As the little cakes were delivered to the table by the same servants, I perked up with a sight of sweets. I took a bite. The cake tasted too light. As I looked down at the cake in disappointment, I heard a choking cough. Water. Pfft. The cakes must have gotten switched. How so? The sweeter one for Alice and the lighter one for me was the plan, but with the cakes decorated the same, someone must have mixed them up. Surprisingly thoughtful of her. Although her plans backfired, I felt a tinge of guilt for wondering if she had tried to feed me something strange. I could still eat it. I don't mean to tell you to eat something I've taken a bite of. Well, no, I'll have them replaced. She called the fairies over again, and she left with the... I'm so wondering about her messed up hand here. When they returned, they delivered new desserts, a vanilla ice cream sort of thing, to the table. I picked up a spoon and watched the utensil sank into the white sweet, and I moved to take a scoop. I placed a spoonful into my mouth. A chilly sweet creamy melted onto my tongue. I don't know if I just read that properly. A chilly sweet and creamy melted. Yeah, okay. It doesn't even say flavor or anything, or texture or whatever. Delicious. I'm glad. I am unused to strong flavors, although I liked them as a child. I can no longer recall the feelings I had back then. I had a time not too long ago where I was not allowed to eat many things or do many things at all. I felt apologetic to the chef. It's not just that I've become accustomed, so even though she's gone, she looked away somewhere far away and then refocused on me. Her ice cream began to melt on her spoon and she unconsciously stirred it like a cup of tea. To live, one must eat and drink, and that's what it means to be human. Everything's so bland for her. Human. I don't enjoy eating, but I'd rather do like tea. So she just likes bland stuff. Should I be considered halfway there? Although it's also something I picked up from her. You must feel bored listening to me talk about this, Alice. No, not at all. I want to know more about you. If I had to choose if I liked or disliked the White Queen, I would have to say I liked her. Deep within my heart, I held an inexplicable emotion toward her that I couldn't identify. It's love. I had no reason to feel. After the desserts were done with, we talked a little more, mostly about useless little things. It's late now. Would you like to stay for the night? I would appreciate it, and I have no place to be or go here anyhow. After a while more, we departed from our position in the garden, and she brought me to a guest room, walking before me under the starry night sky. Good night, Alice. Would you head to bed as well? In a while, if I can. A little voice told me that she couldn't sleep very well. To live, one must also sleep, White Queen. Good night. Upon hitting the bed, I felt a haze of fatigue overcome my mind. My eyelids grew heavy and I fell into a deep slumber. Man, sleeping on a bed versus sleeping on a chair is so much better, man. Surely I was dreaming within a dream. I dreamed of blood. Stops? Okay, great. The next day into the day after that, I continued my search for the Red Queen's parts. I'm trying to remember what the Cheshire Cat said. Okay, yeah, so I've already done all this. Arm. Sitting aside her puppet friends, she extended an open palm toward me. I proceeded to... Okay, I'm pretty sure... I took a seat in my armchair, seeing her clumsily catch in her arms. With her free... Wait, this is just... Did it just change from arm to... from leg to arm or something? Didn't you help me out with that? I have anything under control? Wait, what? Without another pause, the Hatter stuck the limbs onto the Red Queen's torso? The flesh sounded like a squelch as the muscle, skin, and bone began to knit into place. Still a red line remained where the limbs connected. I took a bite of the scone as the Hatter said it had butter. The Red Queen's incomplete body twitched, something squirming under the skin. I spread some clotted cream and jam into the scone. It was a perfect blend of sweetness, made me wonder where she got the jam. It was very red. Ow. The single arm grabbed at the Hatter, smacking as it squirmed. Did I already read all this? The Hatter kicked the incomplete Red Queen. I kind of remember this. A bit of blood and something else dripped onto the ground. Gripping the writhing limbs in her hands, the Hatter popped open a dog cage and door with her feet and chucked them in. With a thud into the cage, the arm and the leg went. Good scones. Thank you. Yeah, I did read all this. Oh, now I'm meeting these guys. Okay, so I can go straight to the party or I can look for the cat again. Let's kill the cat again. Oh, this time I'm just gonna go to not a cliff. I tumbled through the bushes, rolling in the direction the sign told me was not a cliff. As I made good distance from the cat, I felt the ground disappear underneath me. Whoosh! It was still all air. It was all air below me. In a desperate flail, wait, did I just kill? Desperate flail, I grabbed onto a rock on a cliffside with one hand. I should have expected this from Wonderland. My injured shoulder throbbed as I tried to use that arm's hand for a second point on the cliff. I found I couldn't pull my weight to that side. My uninjured side barely clung on. The rock dug into my flesh, and my fingers creaked. A trickle of blood started. The rock as well shuddered as a hairline fracture showed itself. Trying to find foothold with my legs, but even the slightest one could throw me downward to my demise. With the angle of a cliff, I had no way to try. I winced. Still here? The Cheshire Cat looked down on me. Pacing back and forth, she pretended to contemplate what to do next while her shoulders shook with mirth. I squeezed my eyes shut to try and block out my dizziness. Why are you doing this? I had a bit of revelation that Wonderland was mad, that's all. You and I, we're all mad. We all seem to have forgotten something very important. Even now I can't seem to remember what it is. It's just a bout of madness, Alice. I see. Sweat. So she's kind of aware of what's happening with the death loop, huh? Sweat, and probably more blood than sweat, but it made me grip onto the rock slippery. Amusement at seeing me struggle showed on the cat's face as her grin grew and her back of her her tail of black flame roared. I don't suppose you could help me up, depending on what you mean. She extended her right arm and grabbed my wrist. With a firm pull, she tore my hand off of my rock and held me up by the wrist. I dangled in midair, feeling her lift me upward, and let go. Air wished past my ears. Long live the queen. I was falling. Crack. Alright, well now I know there's another way to die. I've shown 5% more script. Wait, where the hell did I... Auto? Where's my autosave, bro? Don't give me this shit. Oh yeah, it's right here. Okay, cool. I should probably be manually saving. Do I ask her for it? I'm gonna see what happens. Let's fucking see what happens, alright? Hey, that arm doesn't belong to you. Give it back, Cheshire Cat. Why should I? I ask politely because I would prefer to let you part with it on your own terms. If I must, I will take more drastic measures. The cat squirmed under me, but I forced her down, sitting atop her body. I have no intention of staying in Wonderland. My current adventures through this world are entirely to find a way back to my own world. As such, Cheshire, if you would hand over the arm, then we would have no further interactions. I will endeavor not to meet with you again unless it has to do with my way home. I can't fight anymore. The tension left her muscles, signaling to me that she had given up. She let out a scornful bark like a laugh as she acquiesced. Fine, I'll give you the arm, so get up. Wait, she actually just gave it to me? I didn't have to tear it off? Well, shit. She made a weak motion as if to push me off. No, give me the arm first. Fine. Bruised, black and blue, bloody from our brawl, the Cheshire Cat twitched her stolen arm, looking at it hesitantly as if unwilling to lose it. She shook her head, and a faint cracking noise from her neck made her let out a whine of pain. She nudged her cape closer to her face and bit into it. Then, with a flickering left arm, the body twisted into an odd position under me, she tore the arm off of her own body with a slow and bloody rip. I heard the oddest sounds of flesh being rent from flesh. What the fuck? Flesh being rent from flesh. Okay, sure. Through the cape came muffled groans. Tears glittered in her eyes. After what seemed like eternity... No, I don't want to hear this again, man. Like eternity, the cat chucked the ruled arm from the side. Okay, so it wasn't as painful as before, I think. The limb too made a crimson mess in the grass. Is that enough for you, Alice? I nodded. Now get off! I stood up from the cat, feeling a wave of dizziness that hit me along with a throbbing headache. She rolled over in pain and started pushing herself up, stumbling and falling a number of times onto the grass with an ugly red splat. Finally limping to her feet, the Cheshire Cat vanished. This is the person that I literally had her arms cut off and her legs broken or something because she was being mean to merchants. Now there was no more Cheshire Cat. I picked up a severed right arm. The limb appeared different now that I was detached from the cat. The broken shackle about its wrist fell off without me having to do anything. Alice, did you recognize this arm? Yes, I answered. This was the Red Queen's arm. A jolt of pain burst through my head. I did not know why I knew, but amidst my agony I did not have the heart to care. I knew because I am the Red Queen. I stumbled, clutching my head. The world warped and blurred around me. I felt dizzy looking at the distorted landscape, or perhaps my dizziness itself distorted the landscape into an undulating thing that made me want to vomit. As my adrenaline drained, the results of the fight began to show themselves. My whole body felt sore, however. The raging headache pounding at my skull would not subside. Black and red began to fill my vision. Oh. Maybe I was falling. My world turned to darkness and all I heard was laughter. Thump. I slowly opened my bleary eyes to the sky. Oh, this is where I can choose who I woke up to, right? Because it's my own dream, I guess. Looking ahead, I found that I was at the White Queen's garden. A raspy sound flowed out of my throat like gravel. Swallowing, I let out a grumble from the discomfort. I rolled to my side in discomfort before turning about again, feeling both the heat burning the back of my neck and a chill running through my whole body. Alice, you still caught colds like this? You're already so big. I blame the cat. The voice in my head. You too could blame the cat. Drink some water, Alice. The White Queen appeared by my side with a cup of warm water. Lifting the cup to my mouth, she slowly tilted it for me to drink. Clumsy as she was, much of the water spilled past my lips. Then she retrieved a bowl of unidentifiable dark liquid that smelled not quite like wine, yet not like anything else either. I had some medicine prepared for you. It should help you get better. I opened my mouth like a baby bird as she moved a spoonful of medicine toward me. As it entered my mouth, I recoiled in disgust, sputtering at the taste. The metal of the spoon knocked against my throat, throwing me into a coughing fit and spilling the spoonful. Alice, are you all right? The White Queen quickly moved the spoon away. Taking a wet towel from the fairy light, she wiped away the spilled medicine. This is just medicine. It's bitter. Must I drink it all? Oops. Medicine is good for you, Alice. In this world, there are many painful, bitter things that are good for you. So it'll be best if you take it. I could not disagree, but the way her voice dipped made my heart ache. I wanted to disagree. Disregarding the taste that made me want to hurl, I took the bowl from her and gulped the medicine all down. I resisted gagging as I swallowed. Bitter. This medicine was much too bitter. My eyes watered from disgust. Good, Alice. She petted my head and she popped a piece of candy into my mouth. A sweet milky flavor melted into my mouth, masking the bitter but not completely ridding my tongue of its misfortune. Sweet. The candy was sweet. I liked sweet. And after I finished the candy, the White Queen gave me some more warm water and had me continue laying down to rest. White Queen, you're a little clumsy, but I appreciate you taking care of me. I haven't had anyone. She held my hand and squeezed reassuringly that she was here. Thank you. I let her yawn and feeling a haze flowed into my mind. Perhaps the medicine had begun to take effect. No, Alice, you're very different from her. She never, ever showed me this side. Not even at the very end. Not even then. Oh, that's talking about the Red Queen. She murmured to herself thinking I would not hear. Alice, perhaps she was looking at you now. Although she was always looking far away, perhaps at this moment, she was looking at you even just a little. My eyelids grew so heavy that I couldn't keep my eyes open any longer. Everyone here is definitely aware that I'm supposed to be the Red Queen. She laid, and I guess they're aware that I'm on a fucking death loop too, for whatever reason. Wonderland is weird. She laid a kiss on my forehead. Too tired to say anything in response, I fell into the realm of dreams. Just a nice, casual, friendly kiss on the forehead. After a few days of rest under the White Queen's care, I recovered to full health. I never wanted to taste medicine again. When you assemble the Red Queen, will you come visit again? Yes, I will. Her words, that's why she always looks so sad and wistful. Her words reminded me that once I left Wonderland and no longer could I come find her at this garden. It would be separating my worlds and never meet again. Surely, I will meet again. Bidding goodbye to the White Queen, I stopped by the Hatter's place to drop off a limb. The Red Queen was nearly assembled, missing only her head and a fourth limb. Onward I continued my search so I could send me home. Alright, so now we're going to the party and I'm going to take the White Queen with me. Alice, the Duchess requires you to die. I'm taking the White Queen! I invited the White Queen, feeling that she would be most fitting a guest to a noble's ball. White Queen, will you accompany me to the ball? I'll attend if you would like me to. I'm not so much for parties, but just this once will be alright. To whose ball and when? The Duchess's ball. The White Rabbit gave me an invitation to what she claimed to be an endless party. You know what, guys? I'm going to call it here. This episode's going to run for pretty long. We're going to go do the party again. We're starting another episode of the party on the next episode. Except this time we're going with the White Queen. So we're going to do this route until I can hopefully reach a different ending. And then for the last ending, I'll probably have to look into a guide. I think they have an official guide for this game. So I'm going to look at that so we can get our way to the final ending and see all the endings. I don't know if I'll look at all the dead ends. I don't think I really want to. We'll see. I'm assuming one of the dead ends was definitely killing the bird. If I kill the bird and then the other bird and the bird's friend comes and murders my ass, that's probably a different ending. Anyways, for now, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, please leave a like down below. It helps me a lot. If you haven't already, subscribe. And as always, I hope you guys all have a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!